Hey guys, I am Steve Martin, aka Coach Martin, as a lot of you have referred to me over the past years in my former job as athletic director at Auburn Adventist Academy. And then as I see you in the halls, in the parking lot, on the field, at church, or in my work, I actually love still hearing Coach Martin ring out in my ears and wondering, who's calling me, who's wanting to talk. I wanted to come on and share a little bit of a message with you, kind of based off of some of the things that I have been hearing from many of you as student athletes here in the fall season, as sports are just starting to kick off for this school year. And a big shout out to boys soccer, girls volleyball for bringing the trophy back home to your school for Battle of the Sound. So big shout out to you for that. So listen, I wanted to just share a couple of the comments and things that I've been hearing, and then kind of talk to you about that for a few minutes here. And one of the biggest things I've been hearing when I come around and talk with students who I used to work with very closely in the athletic department is, Coach Martin, come back. We need you. We miss you. You know, just come on back. Just help us out again. Just be athletic director again. I hear things like, we don't have any games scheduled. We don't know what's going on. We don't ever hear anything. We don't get a lot of communication. This got canceled. That got canceled. This got rearranged. And those are kind of like the biggest ones that I hear, but then I just kind of hear this underlying tone of like, your experience is not what you thought it was going to be. And more so, you seems like you're kind of left with some questions about, well, is this the way things should be? For instance, I know girls JV volleyball. From what I know, there was only 4 games scheduled for their entire season, yet they paid their athletic fees, just like you would if it were a regular season and you got 16 games. So there's a lot of just angst and anxiety and sort of confusion around what is going on, it seems like, in the athletics department. And many of you are coming to me like either venting or, wanting to share your experience and asking me to come back. And I just want to share a couple of things about that. First of all, man, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to hear that you're having an experience that is not very good, and that your memories are going to be more of, from this season and this school year, more of sadness and frustration than of elation and joy and teamwork. So it breaks my heart. It hurts to hear the sadness in your voices and the frustrations that you're having, first and foremost. Second, when it comes to like Coach Martin, come back. I just want you all to know that I didn't leave. It wasn't my choice to walk away from being the athletic director at Auburn Adventist Academy. It wasn't my choice to not be there this year. In fact, as I said in an email that I sent out at the end of last year, I was told that I can't be there anymore. I was told by the administration and the Washington Conference that my contract would not be renewed for this school year. I was told to clean out my stuff out of my office by 5 o'clock that Monday morning. When I was told, I got a new letter a couple hours later saying, oh no, you can clear out your stuff later this week, but you're not allowed any contact with anybody or not allowed to go to any meetings. So, it threw me for a loop because I wasn't able to say goodbye. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know at graduation on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday through the weekend, that come Monday, I would be no longer a part of the school and no longer a part of the athletics department that I loved, and no longer able to interact with you guys in that capacity. That wasn't my choice. So when you say, I just want you to know, if it were my choice, I would still be there leading the athletic department, helping you to have the best experience you could possibly have throughout each of your sports that you're choosing to participate in and follow through this fall season and winter season. And hopefully for all you golfers, you're still able to do that come the spring, as well as you guy volleyball players come spring again. So I can't come back. And that's not my choice. That is the choice of the administration at Auburn Adventist Academy and the Washington Conference to say that I am no longer wanted or needed there in that capacity. And the reasons they gave for that are simply we decided to go in a new direction. And those were the actual words spoken to me when I asked, and I'm holding the letter in my hand of, is there a reason why you're telling me my contract is not renewed for next year? The conference employee, the conference director who gave me that letter said, the school has decided to go in a new direction. Well, what you're experiencing right now, this school year, is that new direction. You're experiencing an athletic department that seems to me to be just in shambles, completely disorganized and in disarray. Games have been canceled, quite a few throughout the beginning of the school year. Schedules are not released until sometimes the day of, at best the day before. Fees are still being paid, but in exchange for what? Games are canceled, and so the maximum number of games that you're allowed to get through a season are nowhere even close to what you're allowed to, or what you're able to play this year. I've learned recently that they're outsourcing the scheduling to somebody that lives 2 or 3 hours away in another town. Who do you go to when you need to talk about an issue or a concern that you have? There are multiple different people on campus that you may go to, but you may not be able to get an answer to them. I know some of you have talked to me about reasons why you were told that a game got canceled. And because I'm still in this community and I still know many of the other athletic directors at other schools, they didn't know that I wasn't employed there anymore. They would reach out to me about a game that was coming up, thinking that I was still the contact person. And they would tell me the reason that the school told them that the game was canceled. And those two stories have not matched up more times than not. So something that you as students are being told, and then what another school is being told for the reason that game is being canceled is not in fact the same story. And it just leads me to have some concerns about, well, what is the story and what is going on? And I know that many of you have those same concerns. We've gone through a couple of senior night games, and there's been some confusion on how those were going to be run and handled, and just a lot more questions than there are answers to. When I hear all those things, I want to be a sounding board to you. I want to be someone that you can speak to. I never want you to not be able to tell me what's going on, or feel like you can, because I want to hear your stories and your experience. What saddens me is that I can't do much about it. I'm a guy that wants to get out and do and wants to get out and make things happen and make some change. And the reality is, in this situation, I can't do much about it other than listening, showing up, being there, and cheering you on from the sidelines, which is a whole new experience for me. In some of the games that I've been to recently, I haven't been able to just sit in the stands and be a spectator. There's something nice about that. I want to be there to help to cheer you on, to celebrate you as student athletes. But I'm also sad that I can't be on the other end, helping to make that experience the best for you. What I want to encourage you to do is if your experience is really trying, if it's really frustrating, if it's really, you're left with some questions that you're wondering, this seems more than just an accident, or this, whatever that may be. If you really have some solid concerns and questions and frustrations about the way that this season is going, you have an avenue. You have a way and a voice and procedures put in place at the school to raise those concerns and raise those questions and get some answers. And so what I want to encourage you to do is if there is something that's happened that you feel like is a grievable instance or circumstance or situation or something that happened, in other words, you feel like, no, that is wrong. What happened to me or what I've been told or what happened to our team, that's wrong, and I want to address that. Remember that there's a grievance policy at AAA. There is a form and there is a method and there is a process that you can go through. And nobody is above that grievance policy. A A grievance can be written on another student. A grievance can be written about a teacher. A grievance can be written about any administrator. It can be written about the school in general. It can be written about the conference. A parent can write a grievance. If you as a parent don't feel like the service that you're getting for what you're paying for, that value doesn't match up, you can write a grievance. And you can, basically it's just raising some questions and some concerns that you have to get an answer to. And that's a process and a policy that's been put in place, voted by the Auburn Adventist Academy board, supported by the Washington Conference, to give you an avenue to speak your voice. And so I'm not trying to come on here and say that, that you should do anything that's outside of what is already a right that you have as a student and as a family and parents at Auburn Adventist Academy. If something has been done that you do not feel is right, and it can be related to athletics and sports, anything that it is that you're paying for as a student and as a family participating in that school, if you don't feel like the things that have been done are right, you can write a grievance about it. On top of that, you have an ombuds. You have an ombuds that you've been told about, that you've been sent an email, and basically that person is an advocate for you. If you feel like something has happened, you've been told something that you don't feel like is true or accurate, you've been asked to do or participate in something that you don't feel like is right, something that you feel like you've paid for has been taken away from you without explanation or due process, you have an advocate. You have somebody that you can talk to. So I still want to be the person and the guy that you can come to and that you can share the things that are on your hearts. You can share your frustrations and talk to me about those things, and I will listen to anybody. And I'll try to offer suggestions and advice and ask questions as well to try and see if there's a solution that we can come to. But I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to actually use your voice, to use the tools that have been given to you by the school and the school board to stand up for what you think is right, to speak up when you feel like something wrong has been done, and allow that process to play out. It may not end up your way. It may not go in your favor, but at least you've done everything that you can do to speak up against something that you feel like is wrong. So that's what I kind of wanted to get on here and encourage all of you to do. I just have been sort of feeling really heavy about all the things that I've been hearing from you as students and as families, even parents, saying when they see me at games, we miss you so much. We wish you were here. Please come back. And again, I can't come back, not by choice, but that is the circumstance. And it just, it's hard to hear those things. It's hard to hear that you're not having the same experience that maybe, you who have been there a few years and have been under my direction as athletic director in the past were used to. And I hope that changes, and I hope it changes really soon. I hope your experience turns around, and I hope you make it the best that it can be. I hope whatever situation that you're in, you also continue to push through, to fight, to make it the best that it can be. Parts of that are on us and ourselves to make the best out of whatever it is that we've been given. But don't ever think of yourself as like a narc, a whiner, a complainer, a gossiper, whatever else, to be able to stand up and speak against something that is wrong. We're admonished to do that. And so I want to encourage you to do that. Again, congratulations to the teams, especially with some of your recent wins. It's been fun to celebrate with you and see some of those. I also have celebrated with you in your losses as well. I'm just excited to still be able to have an opportunity to come and watch and support and participate. And as long as I am able, I will continue to do that. So that's it for now. I really encourage you, if you see this video, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Share it with somebody else. Share it with another a friend of yours who may be a student athlete at Auburn Adventist Academy, and encourage everyone to speak up, to use your voice. If you feel like something has been done that is not right, you have a process to go through to hopefully make it right. Ultimately, Go Falcons, and I'm always here to support you, and I thank you for taking a few minutes to listen to me tonight, and I hope to see you on the court or on the field real soon. Take care.